Hello everyone. Welcome to today's live AMA brought to you by Linkforge on Off-Page SEO. I'm Ark and I'll be your host for tonight. We're super excited because this is our very first time offering our live sessions. Now, hello to our viewers and I hope you enjoy your time. We'd love to hear more about your questions or more about you on the comments below. Now, joining us today is none other than Coach Kris.
Hello there. Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Hi, thank you for coming to our live session for today, Ma'am. Ma'am Chris is here to answer our burning questions about off-page SEO and share what actually works to grow your online presence beyond just your website. And of course, we also want to hear more from the comment section of any questions you have for off-page SEO. Now, for those who don't know her yet, Coach Chris is a link building expert, SEO strategist, and a community partnership manager at Hunter.io. Now, she's also founder of Linkforge Digital, and where she helped SaaS business scale through effective SEO strategies. She has over 8 years of experience, and Coach Chris has worked with countless businesses to boost their search rankings and drive real measurable results. And today she's here to walk us through the exact techniques you can start using right away to grow your businesses through SEO and link building.
Hi, Ark. Thank you so much for the introduction. That's right. I'll be answering audiences' questions about off-page SEO, link building strategies, outreach, and even how to boost their site's authority. So, if you've got a question, feel free to drop it in the chat.
Oh, actually, right, ma'am. We actually received a couple of questions now over the past few weeks. But before we start to display those, and while we wait for the new questions to come from the audience, Coach Chris, could you kindly brief us what SEO or off-page SEO is in the simplest way possible for those who might not be familiar with it? For example, for me, because I started learning SEO, can you explain off-page SEO for me or for the audience today?
Okay, sure. So let's start simple. SEO is what helps your website show up on Google when people search for something. Now, when it comes to SEO, it is everything you do outside your website to help it rank higher. You're not touching your website's code or design, but instead you are like building its reputation online. Maybe let's give an example. Think of your website like a person applying for a job. Your on page SEO is like your resume, it shows your skills, experience, and etc. But your off page SEO is like the recommendations or referrals from others saying, hey, this person knows their stuff. And Google loves that actually. The most powerful example that I could give would be backlinks. So when another website links to yours, it's like a vote of confidence or a vote of trust. So the more high quality votes you get, the more Google trusts you. So aside from backlinks, there are other social signals that you can use like social media shares, brand mentions, and brand mentions that would include even those without links, content collaborations, and these days, even appearing on podcasts or YouTube channels. So, why does off page SEO or SEO matter? Because Google wants to rank not just the relevant websites, but the trusted ones. So, off page SEO is how you build that trust and authority over time.
That's actually a nice way to put that, Coach. Because I kind of relate on what you are talking about for backlinks. Because I'm currently learning for those. And here's a quick question from me: does backlinks come free, or do you have to pay for it, or there are other strategies to garner those backlinks?
The most authoritative backlinks are free. And whenever we say backlinks, the let's say what we should be thinking behind it is not getting the backlinks just because or just for the sake of backlinks, but we should be giving something in return. So When we are getting backlinks, say for example, for a certain page or for a certain blog post, the blog post should be giving value to the audience of the website where it is linking to. So I would say that backlinks should not be paid, it should be free. However, I would also say that there are different ways, of course. Um, we often exchange backlinks or we often exchange authority because nothing is always free. Uh, Even if we do not pay for it, we should always be giving something in return. All right, so there is a question here. Hi, is there a difference between backlinker and link building strategist? Actually, for me, there is no difference. We actually call ourselves differently. We could say we are backlinkers, we are link building specialists, we are outreach specialists, but the job is basically the same. When we say the job, it's usually building links. However, it would depend if you are working for an agency or if you are that. So if you are working as an in-house specialist, basically there's no difference. The only difference would be on the job description that will be given to you when you are starting your job. But the main job is still to build links using different strategies. I hope that answers your question. Okay. Is it a black hat practice to pay or buy backlink? It actually depends on the quality of the backlink because what usually happens is if you are paying for the backlink, it could be for a very authoritative site. So I would say it's not a black hat practice, but it is also not white hat. I would categorize it as in a gray hat area because backlinks, as I've mentioned earlier, should provide value to the website that is linking to it. So that is the white hat backlink. But whenever we have to pay for links, and let's be honest, let's just real talk, there are times wherein we really have to pay for the backlink. And I would say it is still okay, but it would actually be tagged as sponsored at times. So what we usually do is we try not to pay for the backlinks, but instead we give links in return. Next question, I think. Okay, so what's the best approach in building links while disavowing toxic links? The first thing that you have to do, of course, is to audit your website. Check for all the spammy or toxic backlinks, and then you will have to request to Google to disavow all those toxic backlinks. The next thing that you have to do is for you to check on your competitors. So never start building links for your website without checking for your competitor backlinks. See where they are getting their backlinks, and you have to check, are these links that they are building of quality? Is this working for them? If the answer is yes, then we actually try to get links from those websites as well, but you should not rely on that strategy alone. What you need to do is to use different strategies. One would be the competitor links, and then another one would be to search for websites that are similar to your niche that talks about the same topics as you, and check if your keyword could actually be useful for their website. So if that is the case, then you could actually build your you could actually start building a list of all of those websites that you could reach out to link to your content or to your landing pages.
I
Oh,
think
and
I
one more
agree with you.
thing about this one. I do not actually recommend that you build backlinks fast, like 100 links per month, because Google would actually be very surprised. So start slow and then increase the number of backlinks that you are building every week or every month. As your authority is actually increasing, increase the number of backlinks that you are also building. Do not build like 10 backlinks in just one day. Make sure that it is strategic so Google will not actually think of it as like spammy backlinks, or that you are really just building links for the sake of link building and not giving you're not giving value to the audience of the website that is linking to you.
I think that's a very good take for backlinks. Better to avoid toxic links than just receiving them. Here's another question from Sir JV. So, what's the best learning curve or direction to specialize in link?
Okay, this is what I always tell my mentees and everybody who actually ask me, how do I specialize in link building? The first thing that you have to do, of course, is to understand what is SEO in general first. And then after learning about SEO, you don't have to be an expert. You just have to understand the principle about SEO. And then the next step would be to learn or know about technical and on page SEO. Again, you do not need to be an expert, but you have to understand at least the principles. Once you have understood the principles, then you are ready to follow a path for link building. Whenever you are trying for link building and you are trying to learn, do not learn all the strategies at once. So you have to understand what link building is first, what's the value or the benefit of building links, and then start from there, check on the different strategies for link building. And when you start building links, start with one strategy first, specialize in that. So if you think that um, niche edits or link exchanges is a good strategy, then become an expert in that. Learn how you can negotiate, how you can get the backlinks, how you can actually find really good websites to link to for your website or for your client. And then after that, learn about, say, guest posting next. And then what steps should you follow for an effective guest posting strategy? So do not overwhelm yourself into learning all the strategies. Try to become an expert in one strategy first before going to the next one. And aside from that, you have to find a tool that would actually fit you and your website. So stick to that tool, become an expert into that tool, learn about it, watch YouTube videos, watch tutorials, read blogs, or yes, read blog posts or any post from groups or from any expert that would teach you how to become an expert in that tool. As I always say, do not overwhelm yourself with tools as well. There is no need for you to use a lot of tools or to pay for a lot of tools. So for me, I usually just use Ahrefs, that's my go-to tool. And I also use hunter.io for finding prospects, finding leads, verifying email addresses, and of course, for sending my cold email campaign. So after I actually became a cold email expert using hunter.io, that's the time that I tried other tools to experiment which one would fit me best.
That's a very good take on how you start everything else. So, I believe, ma'am, before you started your journey, you started on focusing on.
So, as I've mentioned, backlinks logically should be free. There should be natural backlinks that's coming into your blog pages or into your landing pages because people see your content or your page as valuable. However, let's be real, we cannot always do that. So, what we actually do is to give something in return. So, it's either we exchange links or we give them like free products, maybe free mentions, shout out on social media, on LinkedIn. But there should always be something that we give in return.
So I'm also learning from Ma'am Chris as we are trying to talk more about SEO. And I hope you guys are taking down notes too. And for the next question, I hope, let's see. So, what are your top three link building strategies? Coming from Sir JV again.
All right,
Top
so
three
top
link building
three.
strategies.
My favorite for me for established brands would be for unlinked mentions because it is easy. They have already mentioned our brand. So there's just a little convincing that I need to do to have them link it to my website. So of
Mm-hmm.
course for that I for my specialization which is SaaS, I often offer like usage of our tools for free, or I also give them like a link in return, or we could actually mention them in our social media, like on LinkedIn or on Facebook or on X. Another one that works for me really is guest post. The reason for guest post is that it gives like a fresh perspective for the website. So whenever we pitch for a guest post to websites where we want to be featured or to be published, we make sure that we give a really good or enticing offer, a topic that is interesting for their audience, a keyword that could actually rank them potentially, and a topic that they have not yet covered. And lastly, that would be journalist outreach, because this is good for companies that are starting out. They need visibility, they need branding. So what we do is we reach out to journalists using different platforms, and we actually give like expert quotes for them to mention our company or to mention our brand. I find all these three effective even in the past years and even at present.
For the
Oh,
journalist
for
outreach?
journalist outreach, there's actually different platforms that we use, like Quoted, Connectively, use Help a B2B Writer, and there's a whole lot of other platforms that you could use. You could just search Google and see which one would fit your niche the best. But my favorite would be Quoted and Help a B2B Writer because it works for my set of clients.
What was the common pitfalls that you have experienced during off-page SEOs?
For off-page SEOs, that's rejection. It's, I think, the most common problem for all link builders. We're often rejected. Like, if we want to do collaborations for links, a lot of websites would say no, they are not interested, or they want us to pay them. So there's a lot of pitfalls, but that's actually, yeah, rejection, because we cannot please everybody, we cannot convince everybody, but it takes practice to become creative in offering or in giving offers for link building.
We have a lot of things, or a lot of things that we can talk about here. So what about low quality backlinks? Like spammy links or link farms. What are your opinions for it? Or what can you say about it?
Low quality backlinks, we just do not build them.
It's
I
much
still
better not to
believe
build
in
them.
quality over quantity. So for me, I would rather build one very authoritative backlink. Let's say in the recent months and years, we have built high quality backlinks for our clients, like Ahrefs backlinks, Moz backlinks. It took a lot of effort, it took a lot of time, but the return is very high as compared to building like 10 backlinks from low quality websites. So we only build links from websites that are relevant to our niche.
So it's much better to have one quality backlink than having 10 to 20, let's say, low quality backlinks or very toxic. That's that's something that we need to take account on. So on the take of buying links then, what risks did you experience, or is it good to buy backlinks generally?
Buying backlinks is unavoidable. I am
Oh,
pretty sure that everybody who does link building right now is well aware of that. There will come a point where you actually need to buy backlinks one way or another. It could be a very high authoritative backlink that you need for your client or for the client's website, or it could be to return a link that you took from another website. So we call that like ABC, yeah, we call that like ABC exchange. So
oh,
our website is A, we get a link
yeah.
from B, and B gets a link from C. So that way, it is not that risky because Google will not see it as like randomly building like backlinks. However, one of the risks for that, of course, is that the link could actually be tagged as sponsored. So if the partner that you're exchanging links with doesn't want that, then you have to have to convince the partner where you're buying the backlink from not to tag it. But
Oh,
yeah, you just have to be very careful and make sure that if you are buying backlinks, the website would still be good. It does not have any declining traffic. Um, it is not a link farm, like there's like thousands of backlinks that is actually being built every day. So you have to be very careful. It has to be a legit authoritative website.
oh, so it's much better to be buying from legit websites then. Yeah, that's a good take, mom. But with that, I hope you stay tuned because we're having a small break because there's a lot of questions coming through and we have to filter them out. And again, we're focusing on off-page SEO for tonight. And for the upcoming days, probably we're going to focus on the specific niche that everybody wants. Now, with that, we're going to take a few minutes and we'll be back after 2 minutes. Ah, hello, everybody, and we're back. I hope you have already sent your questions. Again, we're focusing on off-page SEO for tonight. And welcome back, Mom Chris. And there's a lot of questions being prepared now. Are you ready?
Yes.
I feel the nervousness coming through. I hope you can just have a chill time. And here's a question from Dennis Bayang coming from the Facebook live stream. If I am a link building specialist, is writing an article part of the job?
My straight answer to that would be no. If you're a link building specialist, then you focus on strategies, on building the backlinks, on negotiating, finding leads, reaching out, and that's a lot of work already. Writing the article should be done by an SEO content writer because a very good quality article takes time, it takes research, and they have to focus on that. If you are a writer, you should focus on being a writer. If you're a link building specialist, focus on being a link building specialist.
Now, for our next question. Thank you, Sir Bayang. So, Sir Chris, sorry for the follow-up question, but how do we avoid traffic decline while disavowing toxic links?
There's actually a lot of ways that I could think of, but let's start with one thing. So, if there are like hundreds or thousands of toxic links, then
Mm-hmm.
it also depends on how many good quality links you are building. If you are not actively building good quality links, then yes, disavowing the toxic links would
Mm-hmm.
actually really help. But there are other things that you can actually do. The first one is to check on your technical SEO. Technical and on page SEO are very important when it comes to traffic. When we say traffic, it is not built it is not built through link building only. It
Mm-hmm.
is a combined effort for all the aspects of SEO. So the first thing that you have to do is do a proper technical SEO on your website, followed by on page SEO. Once these two are actually done, you can be guaranteed that they would help in increasing your traffic. So even if you ask for these toxic backlinks to be disavowed, the decline in traffic would not be too much. But in addition to that, you also have to start building better quality backlinks, which is more than the toxic links. For me personally, if I am working on a website and there are toxic backlinks, I actually check is it a lot? Are they in thousands? Of course, if they are in thousands or the ratio is not so good, then I ask Google to disavow it. But if I think it will not have a lot of effect on my website, then I just leave it as it is. But what I make sure to do is to do the tech, the on page, and to build higher and better quality backlinks because getting toxic or spammy backlinks is unavoidable when it comes to our websites because you cannot talk to everybody and ask them to remove those toxic backlinks.
Ooh. So we need to think of the ratio and quantity for this avowing toxic links. Something that we also need to do is to check on technical and off page first before disavowing. So I hope everybody got that. A very good question. Now, coming from Sir Ahmed Junai, sorry, how to know if a website is good or bad to get backlinks?
Oh, one of my favorite topics actually. So whenever
Good,
I
good or bad?
am checking for a website, the first thing, of course, that I do is I go to Ahrefs or SEMrush.
Sure.
They're my best friends. So you have to check first if you have to go to the website first, of course, and see if this website is offering like a real product or service, or is this a blog page, is this a PBN website? When we say PBN websites, these are actually websites that offer like a lot of different topics on their website. So if they
Mm-hmm.
do, then that's an automatic no for me.
No.
We do not build links there. Now, say for example, this website is offering like real products and services. Then I would go to Ahrefs. I would check, is their domain rating and organic traffic actually close to my website? If, say, for example, my website has a domain rating of around 40 and a traffic of 5,000, I would usually consider building links from beginning from DR30 websites with at least 3,000 traffic. One thing that I would also check is, how is their traffic history? Is it increasing? Is it steady? If yes, then that's a green flag. But if I see that they are penalized or their traffic is going down, I would have to check on their backlinks. Is the backlink ratio and the referring domains good? It should usually be
Mm-hmm.
around 1 is to 10. So if they
Uh-huh.
are building like more backlinks than they are being linked to, then, or I'm sorry, if they are actually, yeah, building a lot of backlinks, or they are linking to too many websites, then I
Mm-hmm.
would not consider that, because it could mean that they are link farms, or they are actually building
Ooh.
links like they are like or they are linking to other websites via paid methods. So those are some of the things that I usually consider. So if I see that the links that they are also building are of good quality, or they are being linked to good quality websites, then yes, I would consider building a link to that website. But the most important one that I check is the relevance. So, say for example, my client's product is about account management or accounting software, and then the website that I am checking is in the travel industry, I do not
Mm-hmm.
see any relevance there. So, what I usually do is make sure that they are all relevant.
Okay, there's a question from Ayam Pakes Manzo or Lam. I'm sorry. But Sir Manzo is asking, is Google stacking or entity stacking a good backlink strategy?
My favorite answer is, it depends, but be very careful. Um, Google or entity stacking is a technique where you create a network of branded Google properties like Google Sites, Docs, Sheets, Drive folders, interlinked together, and it is pointing to your main site. The idea is that since these are Google owned platforms, they're considered safe and that could help you build authority. I personally do not do it. Um, Question there is, does it work? I would say it does help with indexing and it gives your brand a little more visibility, especially if you are into local SEO or if you are trying to dominate like branded searches. Um, but as a primary link building strategy, it's actually not strong enough to move like rankings or to boost your visibility, to rank you for keywords. So I treat it like tier 2 link, so it could be used to amplify your real backlinks, but do not rely on them, especially on your money pages. So You also have to consider that Google is becoming better and better at detecting manipulation. So if you are doing this, make sure that the content is at least relevant, they are not spammy, and they are actually useful. So overall, my take on this is it could be used as a supplementary backlinking strategy, but if you want like your real SEO gains, then focus on earning the backlinks from real websites with authority and relevance to your niche.
So it's a good supplementary. Google stacking. It works, but it depends. Now, upcoming for the next question would be from Steven Adelante. Hi, Coach Chris. What strategies would you suggest for well-known brand actively pursuing link building outreach? Ooh, branded
There's
question.
actually a lot because I also worked for a very authoritative brand that's popular in their niche. First thing that I often do is unlinked mentions. If it is already a
Mm-hmm.
well known brand, then more often than not, it has already been mentioned like countless times in different websites. So you could actually set up like alerts on Google, or you could use Ahrefs alerts, or you could use mention.com to actually check on branded mentions that are not yet linked to your websites. And of course, you have to clean up your list to make sure that those websites that are mentioning your site is actually relevant to your niche. They are high authoritative sites, they are not spammy websites, and then reach out to them, ask them to link to your website because they've already mentioned it again, and it will be easy for them to just link to your website as long as you give them something in return. Another one, if it's already a well established brand, then you have to check on your broken links. So for those links, like in 404 or yeah 404 or your links that has been removed, try to reach out to those websites and have them restore your links. The third strategy that I use is actually for broken backlinks. So you have to check your competitor for a similar page that or you have to check your competitor for a similar site that they are actually trying to build backlinks to, and then see if any of these pages are actually not updated, or their link is already or their page is already not live, or if it is 404, then reach out to those sites that link to them, and let them know that, oh, I see that you are already linking to this, but the website is not live. So I actually have here uh, a very good page that talks about this. Would you mind changing your link to this link instead? I'm pretty sure your audience would be more than happy to see um, that this page is actually helpful to them. And the fourth one that I would do is to it's not well, let's not say it's not ethical, but to check for competitor links. So if you see that their blog page or the article is not updated, or it doesn't give value, or the article is not well written, I usually say, I actually wrote an article that is similar to this article that you are linking, but it is updated, it is well written, and it gives a lot more value to your audience. Would you mind linking to my page too? Or sometimes I could say, would you mind changing the link into our link instead? I'm pretty sure this would be more beneficial to your audience. So, those are the things that I do when it comes to websites that are already established. And the last one, that's the fifth one, it will be guest posting. If your website is already established, other websites would be more than happy to publish your content for you.
So I hope everybody took note of those five strategies. And I kind of love broker backlinks because you're checking on sites. And probably that's which one among them was your favorite? Or what do you usually use?
A
Ma'am Chris?
lot, all of them. I do
Among
not
those
rely
five,
on just one strategy because I know
ooh,
using just one strategy is not reliable. I always do A/B testing using different kind of strategies. So I am a very technical person. I rely on data to see which one is working, which one is not. So you would often see me using different kind of strategies for my clients. You would often see me like testing a lot of email copies, testing a lot of factors that could affect link building. So, yeah.
yeah. So using the right strategy at the right time. On that note, we have a question from Sir Dennis Bayeng. I have the impression that being a backlinker means writing outreach emails. Is this correct, ma'am?
Huh. Yes. So a backlink builder means writing outreach emails. Actually, yes, that is correct. In the past, maybe 2 years ago, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of a lot of websites and a lot of brands actually relies on using outreach or cold email outreach at that to reach out for link collaborations. However, these days I actually use a whole lot of different platforms because I know um, it would help me. So go where your audience is. So for me personally, I use LinkedIn a lot to connect with different brands. I use LinkedIn a lot to reach out to people for collaboration because I believe cold email outreach is still effective, but we should not rely on it solely. So, say for example, I did send cold emails and I did not get a lot of responses. I tried to reach out to them on LinkedIn. Another thing is I use Slack groups. So there's a lot of Slack communities for link building. So I often join and I communicate there. But when you are doing outreach through other methods, make sure to get their email addresses because if things actually do not work well, at least you have a backup where you could actually reach out to them for questions or for other collaborations. Another one would be Facebook groups. There's a lot of good Facebook groups where link builders are like very present and active. So you could just post there that you are interested in link collaborations. So overall, you have to use different channels. And when it comes to writing outreach emails, yes, that is still the job of a backlink builder. You have to be creative when you are writing your email copies.
So on that note, ma'am, where can we find you? You're like there's socials or when other people would want to connect with you, where do you think can they try to contact you? On your LinkedIn?
Actually, that would be everywhere.
Everywhere?
If you, if you want to connect with me, feel free to message me on LinkedIn. Just look for me, Kris Escanio, and it's also the same for my Facebook. So just search for Kris Escanio. I don't think my last name is very common. So when you search for Kris Escanio, you would see me. Use
Oh,
the
that's
verified
very good.
account because that's the only one that I am using. You could also reach me personally through my email, Kris at Linkforge Digital, or one of our support emails that would be partnerships at linkforgedigital.com. We're more than happy to answer any of your queries there. We also have two Facebook pages actually. So we have the Linkforge digital page and the off-page SEO group that we have recently created. We will be is actually the first of our efforts, the webinar, and we will be publishing starting April. We will be actively publishing tips on off-page SEO, on how to start your freelancing career and everything else on that page, as well as links to our YouTube videos. So if you enjoyed this webinar or if you learned something, I would really appreciate it if you give us a follow on our Facebook page, Off Page SEO Blueprint, Off Page SEO by Coach Kris. my personal Facebook, Kris Escanio. I would love to have more followers. It could inspire me to post more content. And our YouTube channel that we are just starting, that's SEO with Kris. If I would receive like subscribers, then I would be more than happy to consistently record videos on off-page SEO and freelancing and post every week. Thank you.
So let us know in the comment what was your favorite tip or takeaway so far, and we'll love to hear it. And much more. Thank you, Mom, for sharing your social. Let's go for our follow-up questions. Our following questions from Sir
Sure.
Muhammad Hamza. When we build, how much it takes to bring link juice? Yeah,
Again,
link
it
juice.
depends. That would be my answer. Um,
Oh, it depends.
so, for example, let's take them like I'm gonna give you like different types of websites. So, for example, if it is a pretty new website, it is still easy to get some link juice. All you have to do is build high quality links, which means to have your content or your website be linked to websites that have good traffic, that has good authority, that has good domain rating, that are like authoritative websites. So it is easy to build your link juice from there. However, if you already have like an established website, it would be harder. So say you have like DR60 website and 50,000 traffic, I would say that that would take at least 10 to 20 backlinks. It depends on the quality of the backlinks to move the needle. It also depends on the consistency, it depends on the relevancy, it depends on the metrics of the website that you are actually building links to. Um, for these kind of questions, actually, I would love to have them on our next session because we will be giving examples. So for our next session, I want you to send me your websites and we could actually analyze them live if you are comfortable, and we could give you tips and strategies on how you can grow them.
Oh, I hope everybody's excited for that. So that's a one-to-one coaching or a one-to-one viewership for your website. That's fun to see. And we're going to be tackling on your traffic, relevancy, and good DR to get that sweet, sweet linkages. Now, let's go for the next question. Thank you, ma'am, for answering that. And thank you for giving those questions. Now, another question for Sir JV. Oh, how do you integrate AI in link building?
I actually use AI in almost all the steps that I do. Um, AI and link building, I actually do them for competitor research. I usually ask ChatGPT for recommendations. So, say for example, when I am checking for the competitors, if I am not satisfied and I think I would have missed some competitors, I ask ChatGPT to find them. I actually have my own prompts as well, wherein I just input like the website and it would give me like the list of competitors, or it would give me like potential websites that I could link to. So if you're not using any tool, you could use ChatGPT to give you a list of leads for the websites that you could link to. Whenever I am pitching for my guest post, I often ask ChatGPT to help me enhance my pitches or to help me in researching the topics. And recently, it is actually very good as well when it comes to creating variations of my email copies. So when it comes to AI in link building or in off-page SEO, they can be very useful. You can use them every step of the way, but you have to train your GPT to know you. So for my chat GPT, I'm pretty sure I am 100% sure that it knows me better than anyone else because it has all of my information. Um, Everything that I did, that I am doing, my personality, how I do things, my tone of voice. So I have trained my GPT to know everything about me. So it knows how I think, how I talk, how I make decisions, how I want my prospecting done, how I want my email copies. So that's the most important thing when it comes to using AI in link building.
Hmm. Thank you, Mom Chris, for answering that. So take note, guys. AI is your friend, not your enemy. Okay, it's from
Okay.
Jade Anim on Facebook. What are the best practices for using anchor text in guest posts to avoid over optimization? And how can you identify if the anchor or text strategy is becoming spammy or unnatural in the eyes of Google?
When it comes to guest posting, what I do is actually check on the keywords first. Now, when I am using my main keyword, it has to be present on the title. It has to be present on my meta tag, of course, the tags, and it has to be present on the headings. However, when it comes to using the anchor text itself on the content, for the main keyword, for others, I know they use it like 3 to 5 times within the article, but I only use it for a maximum of 3 times. But I do have several variations of that keyword. So you need to have your main keyword, or that's your primary keyword, secondary keyword, and tertiary keywords. So you have to use variations of your keyword when you are mentioning them in the article. It also depends on how long the article is. Say, for example, if it is like a 2,000 word article, I would use my keywords maybe 5 to 10 times. It depends on the variations that I do, but not more than that. Because if you're going to keep on emphasizing your keyword in every paragraph or in every sentence, that's an automatic detection for Google. It would see that it is kind of spammy. Um, you just really want to mention your keyword over and over again. Also, another thing is I make sure that every time that the keyword is mentioned, it is somewhere very relevant. So, if this paragraph is talking about the main keyword, then it is okay to mention it. But if it is talking about something else, then do not mention it. Now, for guest post, another tip that I could give you is if you want to rank for a certain keyword, use the low hanging keywords like the long tail keywords rather than the main keywords. Because, say, for example, the keyword is off page SEO. That's very hard to rank. I'm pretty sure it will take a lot of time, maybe even a year to rank that keyword. It would take a lot of backlinks. So you have to make sure that you would use something that, or long tail keywords, so that it is easier for you to rank those keywords. Once you're able to rank on those keywords, it would give your website a better boost and visibility as well as branding. And that's the time that you could actually start trying to rank for the more competitive keywords.
Thank you, ma'am, for that wonderful answer. But it always comes to mind to me when you're answering focus and vary your keyword. Like, we're always pleasing the Google gods, or depending on their update on their new search engine. It's probably best also to look at the updates. Now, for the next question coming, so, Coach Chris from Steven Adelante, do you have red flags if someone reaches out to you through LinkedIn? Ooh, something that I believe everybody in the SEO world have experienced. What's your experience on this, ma'am?
I actually receive hundreds of connection requests, messages every day, not just on LinkedIn, even on Facebook. I often tell everybody that I don't have my privacy anymore because if I do not connect with them through LinkedIn, they would go to my Facebook. And yeah, recently they've been on my Instagram as well. But red flags would be the use of dear, because is just too obvious whenever you're saying dear sir, dear ma'am, or yeah, that's the most common red flag for me, the use of dear. And then another one is like if they are sending me messages but it's grammatically incorrect, or there are misspellings, because I believe whenever you are trying to reach out on LinkedIn, it's actually a professional platform, so you have to follow the format of an email as well. So whenever I am writing or reaching out to someone via LinkedIn, I would say hi and then the first name. I introduce myself. It's just basically like writing an email but sending it through a different platform. So if you are trying to do your LinkedIn outreach, try not to be so spammy. Make sure that your grammar is correct. Make sure that it is not too long. There are no misspellings, and do not pitch your service immediately. So, if you're pitching your service immediately, that I would say that you're just there for paid links or this and that. So, they are mostly getting ignored.
I had also the same experience, ma'am. I already received dear ma'am. Even if I also had received much more devious. Like, if you don't reply to me now, I would have your site, yada yada yada. So it's very threatening sometimes for SEO link builders. So always take note of those who are very professional, because we're still in a professional field, much more when we're talking to them. And please, for those our viewers and for your friends who are part of the SEO, do we have more questions? Oh, we have Zain Malik. Some tips for outreach email.
Interesting. I love these kind of questions actually. For outreach email, I would say that keep your emails as short as possible because whenever people are reading an email, usually they have like 5 to 10 seconds of focus on that email. So what I often do is if I'm sending like cold emails, I make sure that it is short and on point. Usually it's just a few lines, and for me, what I usually do is I offer value to them first. So whenever you're sending something, make sure that you mention what's in it for them, rather than what's in it for me. So rather than saying I'm interested in getting a backlink from your website, you could actually say I saw that I follow your blog and I believe that your articles gives value to the audience. And then you could actually say, would you like, if you are offering, say for example, if it is like a SaaS, then you could mention like um, this kind of tool could actually help your website. Um, or this kind of tool could actually help your website. I can give it to you for free. And then after that, then that's a time that you could actually mention what you want in return. Or if you are going for a link exchange, you could actually say that I have a lot of partner websites, or I have this website, and I could give you a shout out, or I could give you a mention to boost your branding or to your visibility. I mean, it could boost your branding or it could boost your visibility. And in return, I would actually love it if you would link us to your blog page as well. So make sure that you give them the value first before taking it yourself. Another thing, I usually limit my campaigns to 100 emails only. The reason behind that is because we could only have so many good leads, and I like to test. So if you are testing for a variable on your outreach emails, make sure to test one variable only. If you are testing the subject lines, then test the subject lines only. If you are testing your email openers, test your email openers only. If you are testing for your links, test the links only. And then once you see that this one is working, then you could take this email copy and then create variations for that and then test another variable.
Now, for this question that we're having from Sir Mohammed Hamza. Thanks. If a website is rebranded, a 301 redirect is placed, is it enough for backlink profile link juice to be transferred from old to new one? We need to update URLs to new one?
Yes. So if you're actually doing 301 redirect and those are already if you're doing 301 redirect, then yes, the link juice will actually be carried over or transferred. There is no need for you to update the URLs. And if you're interested actually in like boosting your link juice, or if you are into rebranding, or if you are into like adding more domains into your site, then Otis Global would be the perfect platform for you. They are into age domains that has links and everything. So you can actually use or buy those domains and then transfer the link juice from those domains to your site just by using 301 redirects. Just make sure that the quality, of course, are good.
So we have another question coming from, let's see, how to get client for link building.
Okay. It's a question that a lot of people has been asking me. There's a lot of ways for you to get a client for link building, but I believe the first one that you have to do is to optimize your profile or to build your portfolio. You need to have a portfolio that showcases what you have done so far, like how you are able to help your previous and current clients in ranking their websites. And after you have done that, I suggest that you check on different platforms. You can use Upwork to see if or anything on the job post fit you, or you could actually do your outreach on LinkedIn as well, or through email. um, when you want to get clients for link building, you have to decide what niche should I focus on right now. So if you are interested in getting clients, if you're interested in getting SaaS clients, then focus on SaaS clients first. What you can do is search Google. If you do not have any tool, use the free version of ChatGPT, use Google, and then you can use Ahrefs or the free version of Ahrefs. I never do cold outreach like just sending an email to get client for the sake of getting a client. I make sure that it is personalized. So instead of sending maybe 100 emails to your clients every day, you could maybe send 5 to 10, but make sure they are personalized. When I say personalized, check their website, give them something that could actually pick their interest. Like, say, for example, I saw your website and I see that you are not actively building links. And then give some recommendations like your competitors are building links from these websites, and we can do the same for you to help you increase your rankings or your traffic. And you could also say, I saw this very good keyword for your website, and I believe this could actually, um, ranking this keyword could actually push your website to have more searches in SERP. And then you could give them a little bit of strategy. Do not give all of your strategies. And that should be enough to actually make you stand out from the hundreds or thousands of link builders who are wanting to get clients. So for us, we do not do massive outreach for getting clients, but we do very personalized ones. It would also be good if you have your own template of what information you are willing to give your client, or the format that you will be using in sending emails or messages to your client. And just be helpful, but know your limits, because let's be honest, a lot of clients also would want some free work, and that is very common in our niche, or it is very common in link building. They would take and take, but eventually they will not hire you. So know where to draw the line. Do not give all of your strategy without a contract first. Just give them a taste of what you can do for them, and then show them results from your previous clients.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we need to take note of that. Or was that talking based on your experience, ma'am?
I used to give like free consultations for clients, and most of them actually converted into long-term clients, but there are some wherein they would just ask for the strategy, and once you've sent it, they will ghost
Mm-hmm.
you. So we have to learn from our mistakes, and we have to be wiser.
So you really need to be wise when it comes to negotiating to our clients. Something that everybody should be more aware of. Now, going through our last two questions, I believe so. Last two. So, Dust Muhammad is asking, scaling link building while still maintaining quality stuff. I'd love to hear anything.
Yes, actually, I do agree with you. Scaling link building while still maintaining quality is very tough, especially if you have been doing link building for the same website for a couple of years. So, when it comes to this, I try to be creative. Um, Say, for example, you have been doing like guest posts as one of your link building strategies, then try to use different strategies. And say, for example, you are trying to build like quality links, right? If you're only doing like guest posting or link exchanges in the past, maybe it's time for you to explore like digital PR, journalist outreach, and a whole lot of other strategies first. You could also do like image link building, audio link building. So when it comes to this, you have to be creative. And when you are trying to scale link building and maintaining the quality, you also have to check on the links that you have built previously if they are still there, because one of the reasons why you are not growing enough could possibly be because some of the links that you have built in the past are not there anymore. So you have to make sure that you try to reach out to have them restored. And also, I do not believe that we could only have like one link per website. I believe that as long as it is relevant, you can build more links to it. But you do not build it like every day or every month. I usually wait around 3 to 6 months before I build another link on the same website. But I also make sure that I am trying to link a different keyword and different page, and also to make sure that the page that I am trying to link is still relevant for that website, because there's a possibility that only that keyword that you have built in the past is relevant to them, the other keywords are not, so there's no point in building more links. So scaling link building, I would say be creative. You have to check your competitors as well, what's working for them these days or right now, because they might have changed strategies. They might have uh, they might have changed how they are doing link building. So check your competitors, check and test on different strategies, test your email copies. Do not be scared to build links on the same website as long as it is still relevant.
I love those answers, ma'am. And I just learned that you need to be adaptable when it comes to link building. There's a lot of strategies out there, and much more creativity comes to mind. And lastly, we have our final question from Jumel. Jumel Recap Plaza. Does forum profiles, blog commenting, and Web 2.0 still works? Ooh, that's a very deep sigh. Is the answer hard, or is it still relevant or not anymore?
Actually, there are different ways on how I could take this question. So, if we are talking about improving rankings, I would say
Mhm.
not really. These tactics are outdated as primary link building strategies. So, for forum profiles and blog comments usually have no follow links and they carry like no SEO value today. For Web 2.0s, they can still be used in tiered link building to support other backlinks, but they should not be your core strategy. So they can help when it comes to brand visibility, indexing new pages, and maybe driving some referral traffic if they are done correctly. But if you really want links that could move your rankings, then focus on authority and relevance. So these old school tactics do not really hold much weight anymore, even though I know that a lot of people are still using them.
But it's much better to use them as supplementary. Oh, well, I think that's a very good take on that. I think, yeah, they're very supplementary nowadays.
Yes.
Now, while we love to answer every single question, we're wrapping the live up. I'm so sorry, guys, but we'll be getting those questions and saving them for the later AMA live session. But for now, that was a very, let's say, incredible session.
Like it was one of the first questions that was asked. So I believe it is fair that we answer it today. Um,
Oh, that's
yes,
my
so
bad.
it, yeah.
What's the question, ma'am? Let's
So
see.
um, let me see. Okay, real struggle is link builders saying no specific guidelines, waiting 2 weeks, sharing 2 pages of guidelines with restricted articles, lists including yours, this requested one on it. So I think I get the gist of this question. Um, and I know this is frustrating for all the link builders out there. So unfortunately, it is pretty common. So to deal with it, we have to make sure that we have to set our boundaries and we have to pre-qualify the opportunities better. So here is what I usually do. Um, Before we even pitch a topic, I ask for the editorial guidelines upfront. It is better to ask for it and then see that it is not doable rather than finishing the pitch, the outline, and everything only to find out that you can only add like one link on the article. So we have to minimize wasting our time and effort as well as the time of the other party. So make sure that you ask for editorial guidelines upfront. If they say they have no guidelines, then you need to ask for follow up questions. You also have to request a list of restricted topics or niche early on. So if there are like restricted topics, then we don't have to tackle those topics. We could try to be creative and find something else to pitch about. And then what we do is we actually have a database of the different sites and editors. So those who are responsive, those who are not so strict, those who are, let's say, problematic. So we actually have them and put comments on them so that for next time we would know who to reach out to and we would know who to avoid. Now, when it comes to link building, it's also the same. I often, or not often, always, I always ask, do you have any guidelines for link building? Are there any restricted pages, restricted keywords? Do you add landing pages? Do you add money pages? Do you add like home pages? So at least I would know if the page that I want to actually build a link to would be acceptable by the website or not. So yeah, that's my tip when it comes to making sure that most of our links or guest posts are actually published.
Oh, love those answers. So you need to get their guidelines first and rules before you start. So we can avoid wasting our time much more. You worked hard on the specific pitch and sadly you got declined because it did not meet their guidelines. That's going to be a bummer for everybody. Much more nowadays we need to focus on those aspects. And on that note, a huge thanks to Coach Chris or Ma'am Chris for dropping all these SEO gems today. So if you found this valuable, make sure to follow Coach Chris for more expert insights and let us know on the comments what was your favorite tip, takeaways from today's AMA. And we'd love to hear it. And much more if your question wasn't answered today or you still have follow up questions, you can still message it in the comment section or directly message us and we'll try to get back to that on the upcoming AMA session and would be focusing on some technical SEO on that part. And if you want your website to be the one who gets a free uh, endorsement and another one is checking for its technical SEO, we would love to see your pictures. And before we go, Coach Chris, where can people find you if they want to learn more?
Right now, they could actually follow me on Facebook, Kris Escanio. They could also follow me on LinkedIn, Kris Escanio, and then our
Ooh,
YouTube channel, as
LinkedIn.
I mentioned. If we get maybe around 100 subscribers, I'll make sure to create videos and tutorials at
Subscribe,
least
subscribe.
maybe once or twice a week to give you free tips. Um, Additionally, we also have our link building blueprint. So this is an updated course for mastering off-page SEO. You could enroll through course.linkforgedigital.com. And as a thank you for joining our webinar and for supporting us on this first AMA session, we are giving you a sale on our course. So
Woo!
normally the advanced blueprint is priced at 249, but we are giving it for the next 2 weeks for 249 for two.
So buy
So
one take
if you
one.
have a
It's a
friend,
buy one take one.
yes,
The
it's buy one,
benefits are
take
good.
one. And I believe that you need to have an accountability partner. So find a friend, buy the course. So you only pay 249 for two access for the course. If you need more information about it, check it out on my LinkedIn or on my Facebook account.
Ooh, everybody, I hope you take note of that and much more. It was stated on the first. You need to learn properly because even if you know the technicalities, if you're not expert, you should still need some guidance. So I believe link building blueprint course on sale for buy one take one. Everybody, I hope you try to at least enroll. Or that's good. I think we would see each other there because I'm probably enrolling. I need to learn more of
Yes.
this. I'm enjoying my time listening to your.
What we are planning to do is to give back to the community by offering free live webinars every 2 weeks, or that's twice a month. And for this webinar,
Mhm.
feel free to send us your websites if you want us to check on them. We will give you some tips, some strategies. We will check if your website's links is okay. So anything that you want to know about your website. But I believe this will be limited. So maybe the first three you could already send it on this chat, or yeah, you could send it right now. I see we've already received one, techbullion.com. So that's the first website. We have two more slots. Feel
So
free to
nice.
send us your questions as well. Or if there is anything that you would want me to talk about, maybe on the next session, we will be checking on the websites. And the second session for April, I could actually do a live tutorial on whatever topic that
Ooh.
you are interested in rather than an AMA session. So in return, I only ask that you follow us on Facebook, on YouTube, and if you want to learn more about link building, please go to course at linkforgedigital.com, ask your friend, and enroll now. It will be on sale for the next 2 weeks.
Ooh, don't forget, it's buy one, take one, everybody. Now that wraps up our today's session. Coach Chris, anything you'd like to say more before we wrap up? Or finally?
That's it, I think. So just follow our, we are also actively building a community on Facebook. So I think one of our staff will be posting all the links on Facebook and on
Ooh.
LinkedIn. So you could follow them and you could actually just check it out later after this webinar. Yeah.
In that note, I hope everybody had a good time and goodbye, Mom Chris, and goodbye, everybody. See you soon on the next.
Yes. Oh, by the way,
Webinar. Oh,
this webinar will actually be posted on YouTube, and it will still be on Facebook. So if you want to share it with your friends, feel free to do so. Just make sure that, of course, it will only be shared, not sold. All right. So yeah, feel free to share this. Feel free to rewatch, and if you have any follow-up questions, just tag me or tag Linkforge Digital on the comments and we'll get back to you. Thank you.
okay. Bye, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's AMA session with Coach Chris. Bye, guys.
Bye,
And we
everyone.
would love to see you again.